Good morning, it's Saturday the 17th of January. I seem to have a habit of always telling you what day of the week it is, but for me it might be useful just to keep track of things over time as towards when these things actually happened. Now, if you're after the knack video, please click on the link and take a look. I've created one last night which makes it a bit easier to set default fields when you're adding records. It actually sets the focus using a little bit of JavaScript. So if you're interested in that, check that out. Otherwise, stay with me. I'll explain why yesterday was a very strange day. As I've mentioned in previous videos, I recently moved from West Berkshire and now live in Suffolk. And when I lived in West Berkshire, I was following a YouTube channel called Over 50, which I'll put a link for in the corner. And the gentleman that runs that channel actually turned out to be one of my neighbours. I remember watching some of his videos and thinking, God, I recognise where he's walking, and he was walking around the local area to where I lived. And at the time, he was going through the transition from work to retirement, and over the course of a number of months, his decision to leave his organisation and retire. And I believe now, from his latest video, he's been retired for a year. Now, obviously, I've just started my retirement journey, so finding it very interesting to watch back some of his videos. Now, on one of his particular videos, he mentioned the time between Christmas and New Year, which is a bit of a weird kind of no man's land, where Christmas is kind of over, but the New Year hasn't started. And he mentioned that you often sort of forget, what day is it? And I've started to suffer that already, now that I've only been retired for a week, but I actually stopped work just before Christmas. So it's coming up to a month, and I've already started to say, what day is it? Well, yesterday, as I mentioned earlier, was a very weird day. If you watched my earlier videos, you'll know that my mum passed away recently, 30th of December, and the funeral is next Tuesday. So we're kind of in that in-between phase between my mum passing away and actually doing the funeral and the ceremony. Now, I've now written my eulogy, which, thanks to my mum's notes and memories that I had, I think I'll do her proud. Now, I haven't yet managed to read through the eulogy without crying, so I'm not looking forward to Tuesday, but I'll get through it. My sister's going to be there, and she'll jump in and take over if I get to a point where I can't continue. But I'm big and hairy, so I'm sure I'll get through it. But yesterday, the weird day was we actually went to the Chapel of Rest and saw my mum. Now, I did this with my dad 9 years ago, and when my dad passed away, he was suffering from dementia, and when we went to see him in a Chapel of Rest, he really did look at peace, and he looked more relaxed, dead, than he had done in the previous 2 years when he was dealing with the traumas of dementia. However, we saw my mum yesterday, and although I knew it was my mum, it didn't really look totally like her. The period from when she died to now obviously takes a toll on the body, and me and my sister both went in together, and it was a nice thing to do. I'm glad I did it. The only thing is, you end up with a memory in your head of the person that was, which you'll never be able to erase. So that's a bit weird. At the end, before I left, I kind of kissed my hand and touched my mum's head, which was very odd, because obviously after the event of doing that, I realised that she'd been in refrigerated storage for the past 2 weeks to preserve her body, and touching her head was literally like touching a piece of cold marble, which was quite harrowing. Possibly something I wish I hadn't done, because yeah, it can't delete that memory. But it's all about respect and starting that process of saying goodbye. So can't say I'm looking forward to the funeral, but I am looking forward to it kind of being over in a good way, that Mum would want us both to move on with our lives. And it's only been 2.5 weeks, but it feels like 6 weeks. So much has been going on, and it's been reasonably stressful trying to sort things out, especially as you're going through that mourning process. So yeah, I just thought I'd share that with you. For any of you that have gone through a bereavement, every experience is obviously different, and yeah, we get through it, and as they say, life goes on. So yeah, that's all I've got today. I just thought I'd get that one out of my head and kind of put it down on paper, so to speak. So hopefully, if you haven't watched the video, click here. If you're still here for the knack tutorial, as I mentioned, I'll carry on doing these for a while. Yeah, if you like this, give us a thumbs up. Perhaps give us a comment if it resonates with you at all. And as I've said before, I'm not done yet. So I'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.